Hello everyone, and thank you for joining for our diversity audit. We audited two companies today, one being Amazon, the second being Sears Holding Corporation. Today on the agenda we have three topics. The first topic, I'm going to kick off and talk about the diversity within the management.
That follows to my part, employee diversity profile, where I'm going to compare Amazon and Sears, looking into their diversity in terms of gender and race.
And then I'll be covering about the programs and initiatives in terms of how the two companies support the diverse employees population.
So as I said before, we're going to kick off the presentation by talking about diversity in management. So I'm going to talk about the diversity in management of the two companies now, and I'm going to start off by talking about Amazon. Amazon released their diversity report in 2014 and was widely criticized by the industry for being all white and all male. In 2015, Jeff Bezos decided to hire a 15-year Amazon veteran named Maria Rent as his shadow, or formerly known as the technical advisor to the CEO. The technical advisor to the CEO is a coveted position in Amazon because it includes sitting next to the CEO in daily meetings, also being front and centered when making big picture decisions for the company. Renz is a shining example at Amazon as they use diversity initiatives in order to make their management more diverse. However, Amazon's diversity statistics do not differ far from the Fortune 500 companies, or the 16 Fortune 500 companies that released their statistics in 2017. Out of the 16, the average was, of high-ranked officials, 80% were male, and of the 80% that were male, 72% of them were white. Even though most of the corporations did not report diversity statistics in 2017, experts believe that it's a similar, that the average is similar to the rest of the companies. This day, Amazon's upper management is dominated by white males. But the numbers are slowly changing as diversity in management is seen as a competitive advantage in the global market. So now I'm going to talk about Sears Corporation. The Sears Corporation is a shining example of how a company takes diversity and implements it in daily business. Under the diversity and inclusion section on the Sears website, Sears says, and I quote, "At Sears Holdings, diversity and inclusion are woven into a cultural fabric. The commitment to diversity in the Sears Corporation can be seen in the Diversity MBA program. One of the good examples of management coming from the Diversity MBA program is Lena Munjal. Lena Munjal has been part of the diversity program since 2005 and has taken a leadership position in Sears since 2009 and continues to work for them today. Even though Sears Holdings has taken a large step toward incorporating a well-diverse leadership, they are still many steps away from being totally diverse, and that they continue to show that they're going to move towards that in the coming future. However, let's take a look at the two board of directors of the two companies. Starting with Sears. Sears has 10 board members. 7 out of 10 are male, and all 10 are white. Looking at Amazon, they have 7 board members. 6 out of the 7 are men. 5 out of the 6 men are white. So though they are taking steps to make sure that their upper management is more diverse, their board of directors continue to be predominantly white and predominantly men.
Thank you, Dan. Now I'm going to talk about Amazon's employee diversity and demographics. Amazon has been accused for not having a diverse group of employees as well as managers in terms of gender and race diversity. According to Amazon's diversity report in 2014, Amazon has 63% of male workers and 37% of female workers. And when you look at race diversity, Amazon has 60% of white workers. So employees are no different than managers in terms of gender and race diversity. However, Amazon put out a statement that female female students and students of color are less enthusiastic about technology and engineering fields, which I believe a little lame excuse to explain itself what has happened here in the data. I have Facebook and Google data. They are similar to what Amazon is. All the technology companies you are familiar with are white and male dominated. And what about Sears? I'm glad you asked. Sears has 56% of male workers and 43% of female workers. They are actually doing slightly better than what Amazon is doing. And furthermore, they are doing better than the average US labor forces, according to data right over here.
Thank you, Patrick. So now I'm going to be talking about the initiatives and plans that help to support the diversity community within both companies in terms of Amazon and Sears. So we're going to be talking about the similarities that they have. I divided them into 5 groups, 5 kinds of support. First is the minority. Minority groups makes up, pretty much quite a large population in the American workforce, and both companies have a pretty solid programs that support African American, Asians, and Latino group. So what they do is they try to come up with programs and cultural events that help this group of employees to feel that they are being included and they are being accepted into the company, and also making sure that their talents and skills are being leveraged to these programs and initiatives. And then we also have the women support group for both companies. Patrick talked about earlier that women have a very low, they're the minority, right? Men dominate both of the company's employee structure and management structures. So the two companies have pretty much solid women programs that help to leverage their female employees to perform well and then move up to the manager position. Next is the disabled employees. Disabled employees even though they make a small proportion of all the demographics, but they are pretty much important. And both companies actually have programs that help to make sure that these disabled employees are getting the needs that they getting all the things that they need, as well as making sure that all the facilities and workplaces have all the accessibilities that this group of employees need. And then next is veterans. Veterans are very they are supported as well by the two companies. They have programs that help veterans transition into civilian life, as well as making sure that they are using their strengths to become to contribute to their professional life. Last but not least is the LGBTQ community. Both companies support events that help this community to grow, and making sure that these people in the community feel safe within their own companies. So besides the similarities, the two companies also have a few differences. First, Sears actually provide maximum opportunity for their suppliers who belong to minority groups to do business with them. So that's something that Sears should be applauded for in terms of their corporate social responsibility as well, and respecting diversity for their outside their circle. And Amazon, Patrick talked about, Amazon said that they're having a lack of STEM students, female students in the science and technology and engineering major. So Amazon has been partnering with universities to recruit more girls to join this kind of STEM area, so that the companies will have more female applicants to apply for. In conclusion, as we can see that there's a huge difference in terms of performance of Amazon, which is doing very, very well, while Sears at the brink of bankruptcy. Our diversity report has just suggested that diversity might not be an important role in the fall of Sears for this case, because Amazon actually was able to introduce the e-market to the industry, and that just took the whole market base from Sears. However, we do still think that diversity is very important for companies because, as you can see, the two companies are working hard in coming up initiatives and programs to support diversity. So we do believe that diversity is important for the long-term growth of the corporations.